Rap Circle is finally here. I know everybody been waiting for it, right? And I'm not playing no games. Yeah. Circle of red back and I'm going there, leaving tracks in morning. And I don't give a crap whether you stream or you torrent this. You can try to contest, but you'll be needing an army. Beat them in Normandy. Current rappers eat to the warning. Stone cold like a Steve Austin. He jacking, I'm putting rappers in these coffins. He's acting like he got it, but he's lost it. Keep attacking these slackers that want to feed off me. He's softy. This one for everybody. Supporters to haters just to show that I'm greater. I mean, steak and potatoes on the way to Decatur. Maybe that's just a little made up, but you got a little what's up before you can even make up all the ground. And the distance between us, I'm lapping around, and that's the reason you seen us. And you can talk down, but that don't really mean much. Cause you want a clown, let my enemies team up. It still won't be a fair fight, cause I'm very nice. I practice that every night to get on this herd mic. You know I'm alert, right? You know that it ain't nothing to serve, right? And I be killing tracks to the earth like my birthright. I'm solid like sound money, and you fools sound funny. Now one of you clowns want me to pound your face in the dirt, so stop irking me when I'm round. No, it's going down, I'm going to town, holding the crown. I'm saying that I'm so amazing. If I'm Ruben, then you claim Aiken, but second place gets nothing. So get up out this godforsaken booth. The truth is you sadly mistaken. Proof I'm better than layman shoot. I'm Super Saiyan blue. This rap game, what you can't pursue. I'm a blatant root canal like an aching tooth. So now, cause the rap circle is here now. Underestimated my following, gave our dollars to the pre-order column. So what the problem is, say you was dropping it, and then turn around, did the opposite. Line in your pockets, you got a lot of nerve to be opting this. I guess I bit off more than I can chew. Let's not excuse my tardiness, I like to apologize to my audience. Not like I've been partying, promise not being fraudulent. I've been in homestead like a privatizing Rothbardian. Part of a parliament, that's a problem. I plan on abolishing, cause a raucous, I'll best the friggin' product you all are in. And all that talking, I ain't buying what you offering. You bout as intimidating and soft as what your daughter is. You been a faking, yet you still hating. You can't knock me cause I've been through Olympic trials of tribulations. Been on this grind and walked many miles to get this cake, and now I'm going ape like I'm a Saiyan. Quit playing with me, cause I'm a lot to deal with. I don't acknowledge you because you too retarded to understand my skill set. So when I kick this knowledge, it's gonna fly over your heel head. So polish up your mind real fast so I don't feel bad. I went from being broke to being hopeful. From standing on the poster going postal. I'm supposed to be on the poster competition's toast because I'm vocal. I bar for you like I'm Oprah. You should probably get off the sofa or the soapbox. Going at me, I hope not. You attacking with no plot cause you act like a robot. You move when you told to move. You a puppet with a mask. I'm the antithesis, that's why I'm opposed to you. I'm the wet rapper, back snapper. Used to be a gang capper, now I'm spitting raps from the Adam's apple. Better back paddle before you get the best at them. That battle's not one you won't back at them. Average guys asking me how I smash these beats. If I told you, I'd have to fold you. That's classified. Don't like to brag, but I had to boast. It's a fad of mine. So please don't be sad when the pennies pad with that in mind. I think it's asinine that people whine like a buster because they life don't measure up to another sucker. What type of life might tell Tucker I don't support you? Tactics the way that you battle and they gon' cut the mustard. You seem like you a teen wife, not prepared for this mean life. Not even aware you just see a green light. I think you mean right, but you look at me like an alien in the night. If I'm the A, then you the Z type. The proto, it's me, bro. You can try to dress it up when I'm in street clothes, I still peak, so probably one of the few lies I ever told. That's because I don't peak, I just grow.
In a world full of cancel culture, pandemics, crooked politicians, it's important to be yourself. Do what you want to do. Free will out this motherfucker. Y'all better listen when Cannon speak. The Hotep's been told.
We back. Welcome back to Cannon Speaks. I figured that this time around, you know what I mean, there's been so much news, so much crazy news going on that we had some fun with it today. So what we're going to do, right, just like we did on Sunday, we're going to react to a Patrice O'Neal segment off of Opie and Anthony radio show. Patrice O'Neal was one of the funniest comics, you know, during his time on this earth. You know, God rest his soul. and one of the most based, truth-telling comics in the business. You know what I mean? I know he definitely was one of my favorite. I'll tell you that much. So this one is probably, I think it's from 2011, right? It's probably about it's the same year. You said it's low. Let me see. Test. Am I coming in low? One if I'm good, two if I'm too low. One if I'm good, two if I'm too low. One if I'm good, two if I'm too low. Hopefully, is that good right there now, Handy Bob? I turned my mic up some more, so that should be good right there, right? All right, that's what's up. So this one's from what is this? 2011. So this is the year that, you know, Patrice passed away due to diabetes. One of the funniest fucking segments ever on the show. I'll tell you that much. So do me a favor, y'all hang tight for a second. I gotta run upstairs and help my son with something, and I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, we back. So I'm gonna go over to the chat. Salute Jay Pylon, what's up, man? Obeezy went to every Alfalfa Club meeting. Those are held in honor of Robert E. Lee. DMW, salute. Handy Bob, what up? James, good to see you back. Sheldon Armstrong. Bro, I have no evidence, but I think the Alphabet Boys got my dude. He was too smart. He woke me up. I hear that, yo. You ain't the only person that think that, yo. You know what I mean? You know, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification icon. Share this video out. We about to have some fun today. It's just a nice change in pace, you know what I mean? From all the goings on in the world. Let me get this all queued up for us real quick. Bear with me.
But enough of this palaver.
So like I said, this is from 2011, Opie and Anthony radio show. I think this is back when it was on Sirius, if I'm not mistaken. When they just got over there to Sirius. This is with Patrice O'Neal talking about the Obama deception. If you ain't seen that, it's hard to find right now because that shit went the way of the dodo. They done banned it on pretty much everything, but I'm sure you can still find it somewhere. Some fringe YouTuber probably still got it somewhere around here. I mean, but let's go ahead and cut over to, let's see. Let's go ahead and cut on over. Let's get this popping. There we go. So without further ado, let's get it popping.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Wow. That's a waker-upper.
It sure is. Good morning. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show.
Greetings.
Patrice O'Neill in studio. We want to get right into this because I'm enjoying my my Sunday, just kind of mellowing out.
Sure.
Watching a little LeBron, watching the Cavaliers and the Knicks, watching a little golf. Tiger Woods doing his thing. Top 10 finish. He's back on the road to recovery.
Yeah.
Getting his...
Hey, one in the chat, is that too loud? Let me know if that's too loud. Or is that perfect? Let me know before I hit the play button again. I guess I'm still playing with some new hardware and stuff like that. Got a new stream, new control board, I guess, essentially. But like I said, hit that one if that sound on that was good. Or if I need to turn it down. All right, cool. All good on Handy Bob's end. Let me know in the chat if it's too loud.
Skills back. Old man boobs won again, Phil Mickelson. Even though he had, they called it the cold sweats.
What?
Yeah, the final round of the tournament yesterday. Most people could give a shit about golf, I understand, but this little point you could give a shit about. He's leading going into the final round, and he basically has the flu, and they said that he's in the bathroom with the cold sweats before he teed off.
Oh, he was taking a massive...
Well, that's the polite way of saying that, yeah, he had explosive diarrhea before he had to tee off.
Oh, you're sweating and your thighs hurt?
Sure. So he was miserable, but he was able to hold on and win at Doral. So, but anyway, I'm watching all this stuff, just mellowing, having a nice Sunday, and then Patrice calls up. Sounded like he was on drugs or something. I don't know. It's like, oh, hey, call me back. So I call him back. He's like, you got to watch the Obama deception. Yeah. Oh my God, it'll open your eyes. And I'm thinking to myself, Patrice is a black guy. Obama deception. What the hell is that? That sounds like some kind of Rush Limbaugh thing.
Some kind of propaganda.
Sure.
I watch it all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you got it. You know.
So
Hey yo, my mods, get these bots up out of here for me. I want them messing nothing up. You already know how I should be. So this is, back when Opie and Anthony wasn't yet red pilled yet. This is before Anthony Cumia and Alex J was cool. You know what I mean? So, but you'll hear that in the in this video. This video pretty much dates itself. This is the year when Phil Mickelson won, I guess, the Masters. You know what I mean? So let's go.
Before Patrice goes off, I watched most of it because I didn't have time to watch the whole thing by the time he called me because I had a crash. I got up to I did 9 out of the 12 parks that you can find on YouTube.
Not bad.
And then Patrice calls in the middle of that again, and we start discussing it for an hour. Then I go to bed, and this is where I say F you today. My dream was I was rocking. I was one of those Illuminati guys. I was being swept away to secret meeting, and I had like people. I don't even know who they were, but they needed to get to me because I was up to no good. I was like help running the world, but I wasn't the main guy. I was like just one of these guys.
Oh yeah, you.
It was like an action movie because of you.
That's right.
Woke up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. My girl's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, nightmares. And then went back and got to part 2 of this action movie that you put in my head.
I tried to call you, motherfucker. I don't know what you was doing. I called you a few times. I haven't called you enough to know to leave messages. Like, I don't know. So I just called, try to maybe see a missed call. And I was trying to tell you to watch it.
Yeah.
Because the Obama deception is basically, it's not what you think it is. It's not saying that Obama is magically awful.
Right.
It's just, and it goes back to Bush and all of them. It's not that it's just the system.
It's more like the presidential deception.
It's just what it's just what it is, man.
Yeah, to think that
it's horrible.
This system's going to change because Obama's in there. But basically, this movie's saying, yeah, right.
So the whole Obama president don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, it don't even mean nothing to people who are like, well, he's going to do something or not. But it's so big that I don't know even if the president knows what it is. I don't know, because he's looking like he wants to quit. Like, when I'm looking at him now,
doesn't he look like?
Looks like, can I get out of this shit?
I just wanted to campaign and get the job. I don't want to do the job.
Right.
I don't want to help destroy the planet Earth.
Because he was taught what it's all about. Like, we noticed he looks tired finally. He looks grayer all of a sudden.
He looks like he got into something he didn't want to get into.
That sparkle in his eyes is kind of leaving.
And his job in the movie, what his job is for them. For the people.
The Illuminati?
No, not the Illuminati. They never said the
Bill
Illuminati.
Burr Group?
The Bill Burr Group.
The Bill Burr Group.
The Bill Burr Group. Hey, yo, so I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. I want to know how many of y'all, what y'all think. Y'all think Obama knew what he was getting into when he got in the office? I think he did, but, I digress. But anyway, I want to know what y'all think. So while this is going, I'm going to put a poll in there. I want to know, did he know what he was getting into?
The Bill Burr Group.
The Bill Burr Group is running the world.
They're running the world, and they are comfortable saying the Bilderberg Group.
Yeah.
But they're not comfortable saying the Illuminati. But people are comfortable that the Bilderberg Group exists. And Obama, all his job is to do is keep the people loving him. That's his job. His first mission is making sure people keep loving him.
He apparently is the guy that needs to be in there right now.
Yes.
According to this movie,
and
the
Alan
Obama deception.
Greenspan, who is big in this, evidently, according to this movie. I'm not comfortable. I'm watching this movie.
Yeah, you gotta keep propaganda close.
You
gotta keep that word close at hand when you start discussing this stuff.
Alan Greenspan, according to this movie, is one of the biggies at the Federal Reserve Bank, who, by the way, has nothing to do with the feds. I
always thought the Federal Reserve had something to do with America, and I learned
absolutely not.
No, I did learn that recently.
It's got nothing to do with it.
It's a bank like fucking WAMU. That the country owes money to.
So how many of y'all know? I'm sure my audience does, but how many of y'all? If you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. Share this video out. How many of y'all knew that the Federal Reserve ain't federal? How many of y'all knew that it's not a federal bank, that the United States does not own the Federal Reserve, and that it's owned by some private banks? I think it's 4 private banks. How many of y'all knew that? Just a question. You know what I mean? So Patrice said it's a bank like WAMU. It's a bank.
But a lot of money. The feds. How can they owe money to themselves?
In the movie, it goes. It's basically as Federal Express.
That's what they said. And basically, we owe this bank a lot of money.
A lot of money.
When did the country go bankrupt according to this movie?
1933.
Three, I think. Yeah.
It went bankrupt.
So when the Federal Reserve Bank prints up money, that cost has to come from somewhere.
Yes.
And they're only lending this paper with the denominations on it.
They're lending it to us.
And then it's got to be paid back to whom?
To
the Bill Burr Group.
So, wait a minute. Let me tell you what Alan Greenspan said in the thing. It's so much shit that it's like I couldn't even go in order. They ask him. They go, "Hey man, what's the relationship between the president and the Federal Reserve Bank?" He went like this. He goes, "I don't know. Like, don't have to be a relationship. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No big deal on a relationship. There's nothing he can say or do or think that could affect the Federal Reserve Bank.
Right.
There's absolutely nothing. You go back into now."
So Alan Greenspan was a very powerful man. I guess he's still alive, but he also said that, and you see it now today with the inflation, right? He said that oh, we can keep printing as much money as we want, but we can't determine how much that, after a while, we can't determine how much that money is going to be worth after a while if we keep printing, said money as much as we are. You know what I mean? We're seeing it now with the inflation. You see how they kept printing money out to so-called bail out the people, or not, bail out per se, but like PPP loans and all this other bullshit that they kept printing money for. Now you see we paying for this shit right now. You know what I mean? But I digress. Let's jump back into it.
I watched one called The Zeitgeist.
Oh, boy.
Zeitgeist, right?
You spent the whole day. You went from movie to movie to movie.
When I go home, I'm going to take a nap, get back up, and have my face...
educate yourself.
And have my face dunked into conspiracy theories.
You're going to just keep digging in, right?
So, Zeitgeist starts off with... I'm sticking with government right now. Zeitgeist starts off with the lie of Jesus Christ, the whole thing. So I just said I can't get into this one right now.
Yeah, this one's deep.
But this one goes into why we went into the Revolutionary War, which is all about money, which is the fact that when the people left England, they printed their own money. Right. They created their own system.
I thought it was to get freedom of religion and speech and to worship.
They were here.
To be free and all that stuff.
How do you give a fuck? If you're in England, what are you going to do in America? Nothing. They printed their own money. England said, whoa. That's cancel that shit. No, you can't have your own money. So now that they don't have their own money, they had to take loans from England at percentage.
Facts.
So they go, we're enslaved. So they go, fuck it. The Revolutionary War was them going, fuck it.
I'm not paying you.
I'm not paying you, nigga. And they go, we'll fight to the death before I keep paying you this bullshit. That's when they won the freedom. But right after that, these people, J.P. Morgan Chase, allegedly, Rockefeller, allegedly, according to this movie, fucking Rothschild.
We've heard the Rothschild name.
Love his candies.
Who, it's mind-blowing, who during the Napoleon War, whatever war that was, the French Revolution or whatever.
Yeah, one of those.
Rothschild found out, because he had family over there, that Napoleon lost. And this is before Google.
Yeah, you couldn't just Google.
So he found out a day early that the war was lost by Napoleon. He put a word out that Napoleon won the war. And everybody was horrified that England lost the war.
Yeah.
Took everything out, everything plunged, England was worthless. Rothschild goes in with $1.50 and buys England. Finds out Napoleon lost. England's worth gwillions now.
Now everything
Guess
goes back up. He bought it at dirt cheap. Now it's worth.
Mr. Rothschild owns England. Owns the world. Now America fought their way out of this. This is the spirit of where America came from.
Yeah.
Now we're living under it right now. Now you get up to Woodrow Wilson signing the Federal Reserve Act.
1930.
Now, the Federal Reserve Act, when Woodrow Wilson, I suggest everybody go out and read The Creature from Jekyll Island. That is a great read. That explains all this shit, what happened, the backdoor deal they made, you know what I mean, in Jekyll Island, that led to a lot of shit, like fucking birth certificates. I mean, not birth certificates, but Social Security cards and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because if you don't know, your Social Security card, I'm going to do a Patrice O'Neal allegedly, is an account number. Your Social Security card is an account number. And when you're born with a certain amount of debt. But let's keep it moving.
1913. In 1933,
I know my history.
The fucking America collapses.
Bankrupt.
Yeah, that was the big one.
The country is bankrupt.
They have to borrow more money from the feds.
So the feds, which has nothing to do with...
And for all your friends out there that still don't know the Federal Reserve ain't federal, ask them why we're in debt. Why the fuck are we in debt? How do we owe money to ourselves? And when they can't answer that, then tell them it's because the Federal Reserve ain't a federal bank. And like he said, the Federal Reserve is as federal as Federal Express.
to do.
The federal government.
They have to borrow more money. This is why, again, a whole nother side shit where they start wars on purpose so they can just keep lending money. So they can keep lending money to everybody. They don't give a fuck. So in 1936, as collateral for the new money that they're lending, the big bankrupt money, they create Social Security and 401ks and all that shit as collateral for the money they're lending now. How are you going to pay this money back?
It's like, well, we got people now giving money into us, and that'll pay you back.
And here's the thing: it's never based on force. It's never based on pistol to your head force. It's based on we got people who think when they're 60 they're gonna have this money to live their life, but really they're giving us this money freely to pay back this loan.
It amounts to some kind of Ponzi scheme that can't possibly be paid off ever to everybody when they reach retirement age. There just isn't enough cash.
There you go,
dude.
And we're starting to see that now. Like I said, this video is from 2011. We're seeing that now. You know what I mean? Social Security on its way out. You know what I mean? Like when, I'm 37. So when it's time for me to retire or whatever the fuck I'm going to do, you know what I mean? Ain't going to be no money in that account or in that fund for me. That shit going to be gone. Long gone. You know what I mean? They right about that. That's all it is a Ponzi scheme. That's it. That's it. Government-funded Ponzi scheme.
So now why is it called the Obama deception?
Because everyone believes that Obama's going to change the world, but the fact is he's just...
Let's change America. Let's change America.
He's just the next guy in there to keep everything going.
He's just the guy. He's just whatever they need him to do to be.
And they brought up the fact that the last real president we ever had was Kennedy.
JFK.
And he was trying to, go against...
And guess what happened to him?
This whole thing.
I hear
something. They took him out.
Splitting headache one day.
And they said that the only president every president that ever stood up to this is no longer with us before he was not supposed to be no longer with us. And only one that made it through was Thomas Jefferson.
Really? That early?
Yes.
Like they were pulling those shenanigans?
Thomas Jefferson's the only one that didn't. They tried to kill him a few times. But, back in the day, they didn't have, laser beams.
Yeah, you had to hope he was going to sip the arsenic tea that you left by his bedside.
You had to sneak your musket in and blow his face off. You got to wait till he's at Broadway watching a shitty show with his wife and hit him right in the head. And I guess...
You're opening the right curtain to shoot him.
Hoping that musket ball took his face off. And he didn't, he's the only one that stood up against it that didn't.
I didn't even know they tried to kill Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah. Do you know of any of the plots that went wrong?
Fuck no. I'm repeating shit like a parrot. I gotta go find out.
Black slave girl with a bear trap in her pussy or some shit.
Yeah, but that's what we all do.
I'm sorry, that was a fucking funny line. You know what I mean? But he's right. You had was it Andrew Garfield that got assassinated? You got Lincoln that got assassinated. You had JFK that got assassinated. They tried to get Reagan out the paint. You know what I mean? And a couple other people, like he said, they're no longer with us long before they were supposed to be no longer with us. You know what I mean? And another thing is, with Andrew Jackson, right? And I always argued this point with people, right? So you know how they want to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill, right? I always found that interesting because apparently on Andrew Jackson's deathbed, they asked him what is his greatest accomplishment. He said, killing the bank. That first, that's when they tried to centralize a bank in his day and he got it out of here. He got it out of that paint. You know what I mean? He said his biggest accomplishment was killing the bank. Lo and behold, Woodrow Wilson ass come around. He signed that fucking the deal, the backdoor deal in Jekyll Island. You feel me? We got our greenbacks, we get our dollar bill. Guess who on the $20 bill? Andrew Jackson. I always thought that was just they put him on the bill as a slap in the face. To his legacy. So when they always say, oh yeah, we could put Harriet Tubman on the 20, because they don't give a fuck about the 20. They don't give a shit about the 20 because It was just a slap in the face to Jackson. So let's just promise him this shit. You feel me? That's how, I always thought it was. But again, I digress. Let's get back into it.
As we just turn into parrots. You read one political book,
And I'm a parrot.
Next thing you think you know everything.
But I'm just repeating what I said. It's just, I believe it, though. I just believe it because we're living in that time. And the actual thing is what they've trying to unfold has been since World War I is a one world thing.
Yeah.
The last bit of it is I think China, because they're trying to get they cancel Europe. The EU, there's no borders.
Yeah.
But they signed a thing called the North American Union, and there's no borders here either. Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. It's borderless. That's why no one's talking about immigration and sneaking across the border, because they want one big thing, so that they can control one big thing. They're canceling all this horse shit.
One World Bank.
One World Bank to make one world.
Sounding familiar, y'all?
Well, that would be
They did it to Africa. Africa was the first
entity.
one they did it to. Yeah, cancel all these funky African countries.
Make
We
it
need
one.
one Africa.
Those borders were changing every week anyway.
Fuck all that. EU, and then China, and I don't think China's involved quite yet, but they're the next one that we got to figure out.
Well, that story came out how China's they're getting a little edgy about how much money we owe them, because they are in possession of a lot of our dollars, and if something happens to our dollars, they're shit out of luck. So they're starting to say, hey, we need a little security here.
Yeah.
What you need something to back this shit up?
How much?
Yeah.
$787 billion?
Yeah. How can you back this shit up? It's just paper to us.
$5 trillion?
Yeah.
That's missing?
It's a lot of
That's
fucking massive firecrackers.
Coming out of your kid's asshole. Every time you get a motherfucker, every time you have a baby, that's a little cash register for the...
The best part of the Obama deception was going
Fact.
through all the stuff Obama said during his campaign.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to get everybody out of Iraq. I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then they're showing, unfortunately, in the movie, they should have waited to put the movie out until Obama's in there.
Sheldon Armstrong, James Corbett, and Whitney Webb are doing a great journalism dealing with what's going on now. 2030 biosecurity state. Yeah. They've been trying to cancel James Corbett for a minute. Like, they've been trying to get his videos out of there. A lot of videos you can't find and shit. But they do great work. You know what I mean? But you hear what he's saying, right? This was in 2011. Look what the fuck is going on now in such a short period of time. You know what I mean? A little over 10 years from when they were talking about this stuff. You know what I mean? Patrice O'Neal was ahead of it, man. You know what I mean? And like I said, a lot of people can deal and listen when you put some humor behind it. And that's what he was great at. Still giving you them facts, though.
A little longer.
Right.
But they're saying, like, in the first 30 days, he's drastically changing his tune. And they're basically saying he's the biggest liar of all of them.
Wow.
Well, because the
That he's
Guantanamo
lied more
Bay thing...
than the... Which pissed off Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. You'll like this one. This is why I wanted to call you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They didn't really
The gun
close...
laws. Oh, yeah, they didn't close it.
Yeah, well, explain that to him real fast before you go to the gun law thing.
The Guantanamo Bay thing was just a promise to think about closing it
Right.
in a year. Not closing it. I promised that I might close that shit.
In a year.
According to the movie.
Right.
Right, because from what I've heard, it sure sounds like he's closing this shit down, but...
But it's also being told that they're sending these prisoners elsewhere to get the crap beat out of them. They're not just letting them go and then, like, all right, go on with your lives.
It's not covered internationally.
Right. They're just kind of moving them to another
They'll
place.
just send him to, like, Saudi Arabia where they can...
According to the movie.
Right.
According to the film.
According to the film
movie, right.
by Alex Jones.
And what about the
Obama
gun
deception,
laws?
who also did Endgame, by the way.
Because I'm very interested in Obama's stance on the new Attorney General and Hillary and all that on gun laws.
Well, here's the thing about gun laws, my friend.
According to the movie.
According to the film. We are now a standing army. We are absolutely a standing army. Which means, it means that our soldiers are now going to be slowly deployed all over the planet. Very close to China and Russia.
That's crazy.
Very close. sending everyone everywhere.
No, that's crazy because Obama said that he wants to pull back.
Well, he put 30,000 extra troops in Afghanistan. According to someone else, I wasn't there. I didn't see what happened. Now,
I like how he covered his ass when
what
he
they're
said
doing, and I forgot the name of the website, and essentially is and Rahm Emanuel said it in the movie. He goes, look, eventually, America, being an American is not a privilege. It is it's not a right. It's a privilege, and you are to service. They use this word service. They use New World Order and service.
Service.
A lot. Service. You are to service this country. And they're trying to implement that kids from 18 to 25 be required to service the country. Required. They don't get into what the service is. But basically, according to this film, that they need more police. So they're trying to create a civilian army for when the shit goes down and there's martial law. They need people. And not everybody is going to come in and go, hey, I volunteer. So they're going to have service. And what they're doing, the first phase, is to cancel the Second Amendment.
Right.
So that there's only the fucking police running around with guns. People can't have guns to protect themselves. They have to take away that shit. So
think about it. They're making a run on guns right now. Right here in Baltimore, matter of fact, they trying to outlaw so-called ghost guns or 80% lowers as real firearm owners know them as. They're not even firearms yet. They're trying to ban pieces of plastic and metal. You know what I mean? Then you got old Joe Nickel Slick trying to go after pistol braces and reclassifying certain guns so that we can't have them, or making it really hard for us to have them, or making them really expensive for us to maintain them. You know what I mean? On HJ's stream, somebody brought up, and Jay, hey, let me know what the deal is on this show. Somebody brought up on HJ's stream, 2/22/22 coming up. 2/22/2022 coming up for real. You know what I mean? So, they feel like that's going to lead to something. You know what I mean? That might be a day that something may or may not happen. You know what I mean? And it's an elect. We coming up on the midterms. Joe Nickel Slick ain't looking too good in the polls right now. He need a win. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering what's coming down the pipe.
So that they can go find out who's registered, and there'll be criminals with them, but criminals will end up being our friend if this goes down.
That's always been the way, any kind of fascist state has worked. They take away the civilians.
They use that fucking term a couple of times.
Yeah.
This shit is fascism.
And that's one of the biggies as far as the NRA goes. They're saying all this stuff like this is what goes down. Usually when there's a gun law that's passed, if you're grandfathered in, you're fine. Let's say you have a rifle that's considered an assault rifle, and then they ban assault rifles. They don't come to your door for the most part and take your weapons away. They did that in a few places where they outlawed handguns, like in Chicago and stuff, where you had to take your pistol and hand it into the police department. But for the most part, they haven't knocked on your door and said, we're coming for your guns. But that is something that is definitely a potential act under Obama and this attorney general. They've got a lot of anti-gun people in there, anti-Second Amendment people.
That if they're going to take the guns, and again...
I mean, it didn't happen under old Barry O, but the first step to that was what? The red flag laws. They're trying to get them red flag laws passed where they have, any reason, to go and get somebody's property in the name of safety and security. You know what I mean? They're still trying to get things, they're still trying to ban, AR-15s and other quote-unquote assault rifles. You know what I mean? Assault rifles. You know what I mean? There's, they're making a concerted effort, and now they're trying to get to the point where, they don't care. They're not trying to grandfather anything in anymore. They want to retroactively do this shit, meaning that they want to make sure, like, when they pass this law, it's going to say, I don't give a fuck if you bought this back in 1989. You need to fucking either register with the state or destroy it. You know what I mean? Or give it up. That's where they at with it. But in a nation of 330 million guns, You think that's really gonna go down? You know. But let's get back to it.
Again, according to this film,
the film
that they want to take the phase 1 is to take these. Phase 2 is to slowly implement service. And Rama Mary's sitting there saying it. Slowly implement service. And they don't say nothing else but fucking service.
So there's this youth army that kind of...
Nigga, what the...
That's just kind of what, and their job will be to keep...
I'm going to need to clip that as a soundbite.
People from fucking saying fuck you.
When they go, all right, everybody, listen, here's what we need to do.
Hear ye.
We're just going to take your money and we're going to just outright come in here with this Viva Vendetta kind of thing. With this what's the other movie that's like V, like where these fucking movies with this They Live kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
When they come in and they just lower the boom and say, here's our plan, but it's too late for you to do anything stupid. They're gonna have motherfuckers, making sure that they'll shoot a motherfucker in the face.
Service.
Service. As soon as you go, wait a minute, JP Morgan Chase, I want my money. And they'll have somebody in that motherfucker to blow your face off.
We're sorry about that. Go to your home that you can't afford.
Fast forward to why Obama was picked. This movie saying he was groomed for 30 years.
Yes, according to this film. Because the globalization has a different face. It ain't white no more. If you want to go global, most global is not white. It's just Australia and England and America is full of white people. But everybody else, he's there to make everybody else feel like they're possibly a part of this globalization.
Danny just ruined the whole little world of intrigue through this movie for me by telling me it is produced by the same guy that produced Loose Change, which I see.
Wait, his name is Alex Jones? Did Alex Jones do Loose Change? One of the biggest
hunks of shit, fake propaganda.
I find that hilarious, right? Because now Alex Jones and Anthony Cumia are fucking good friends. Anthony Cumia's been on InfoWars. You feel me? Alex Jones been on Anthony Cumia's podcast. Anthony Cumia has been red-pilled, I guess after this show had aired. But it's funny to hear him second guess it, right? It's great. And Patrice goes into why he, I think this is right. I think he's about to go into why he listens to it and why he likes it. But let's get back to it.
I believed in, he did Endgame too. And look, the propaganda, you can believe if Rush Limbaugh does a well done documentary. Yeah. I'm sure you go, whoa. You could go, whoa. And you lean towards what you believe. The 9/11 thing, according to the other movie, the Endgame, not Endgame, Zeitgeist.
Yeah.
About 9/11 is this, and again, forget 9/11 in terms of what actually what happened. Yeah. I'm talking about the background of it. World War I, we could not get involved in World War I. America would not want to get involved. No one supported World War I. Us being in World War I.
Yeah, Europe's
they sunk. They have this conversation allegedly. But it's supposed to be on record.
Oh yeah, this is like something
dude
that's known.
Talked to another dude and said, "Listen, we can't get in the war." And he goes, "What if an ocean liner with a bunch of Americans on it fucking sunk,
it's torpedoed or something?
How'd that happen? What do you think?" Well, I think that America probably have to get involved. Boom! Boom! What is it? The Lusitania?
Yep.
Hey, if y'all haven't. Go after this. Go check out Hotep Jesus channel. He just gave the history on the Lusitania. He just did that today. You know what I mean? We know that the Lusitania, is actual record now. That I believe the ship didn't even exist, or the tragedy just never happened. You know what I mean? They used that. You know what I mean? They used that to go into World War I.
And we in World War II. Did not want to get into the war. Wouldn't get into it. FDR, is it for FDR?
Yeah.
He started to allegedly provoke Japan into fucking with us. We embargoed them. We stopped trading with them.
Weren't giving them the steel they needed.
We started threatening them on the side, like giving China some shit and going, giving China money and help and going, fuck those motherfucking Japs. I don't like sushi anyway, bitch. Australia tells America 3 days before, according to this film, that, hey, these motherfuckers are getting together, quite a large force in the Pacific, man. They are, and they're heading towards Hawaii. Huh? What? Huh?
What?
Huh? What? Sweetie, make me some muffins. Boom!
There were a few
we in the war,
in that one.
And this bank needs this to happen so that we can support all sides. All sides. I mean, they had this thing where, because
we do know that Prescott Bush was a part of that. We do know that Prescott Bush was funding both sides of the war. We know that. You know what I mean? So he ain't lying about that. James, I was in Peru like 5 years ago and talking to some of the people there. They said Chinese people were coming in and buying property in waves. Yeah, it's the same thing going on in like Jamaica, I believe it's going on in Jamaica. I think in Brazil, parts of Africa. I think it's in certain parts of Africa, Mandarin is mandatory in school. Go figure, right? But let's get back to it.
Roosevelt's had a company that was involved with the company that was making Cyclone B and all that shit, and they couldn't make Cyclone B, or they couldn't make something that FDR's company had patented. They was lending them money to do that, and then they gave them $20 million for this and that and this, and then all on interest. They were lending us money to fight our war. We were lending ourselves money to fight our war on interest. Fast forward to Vietnam. The reason we got into Vietnam was an attack on a ship that was a fucking lie.
The Gulf of Tonkin, yeah.
A fucking lie. Here's what bothers me. How can you, there's things that you move on to, right? How do I move on to the Gulf of Tonkin without really talking about the Lusitania? Like, how do you go to the next fucking thing? Why don't you go, wait. No. Let's keep talking about the fact that we may have something.
Now listen to what he said.
There's things that you move on to,
Listen to what he said.
How do I move on to the Gulf of Tonkin without really talking about the Lusitania? Like, how do you go to the next fucking thing?
And we see that so much right now. We see that with the round trip. You feel me? We see that with the Cove base. You know what I mean? Like he's saying, we seen this movie before. You know what I mean? You gotta explain this to us. No, we need to. No. You saying that, this ship got hit with American citizens on it, and now we gotta go to war in Vietnam. But y'all said that shit back during World War One. Like, come on, we gotta unpack this one first before you know what I mean? Like, and the thing is that people fall for it hook, line, and sinker every single fucking time. They go with it, they get scared, they're like, oh, we gotta do something about this. You know what I mean? Just like the State Department spokesperson when he was trying to pass that fucking bullshit information on about a false flag event happening, from Russia, and that journalist took him to task on it. More and more people need to take the mainstream media and the official narrative to task. Hold these people accountable. Put their feet to the fire, man. They just do this shit because we just keep going, okay, it's the tail wagging the dog. Hegelian dialect. They create the problem and then they create the solution to the problem that they created. Order through chaos. That's how they function.
Why don't you go, wait. No. Let's keep talking about the fact that we may have sunk a ship with people on it. Can we talk about that? No. We just keep moving. Fast forward to the Gulf of Tonkin. A lie. Now, it's officially a fucking lie in history.
Fact.
It's not an argument. It's not Illuminati. It's a goddamn lie. But we fought it anyway. It's a part of history, and we go, we fought it. Fast forward to 9/11. Look, whether you go, there's some things, okay, hey, we argue back and forth. I'm going with the climate of wanting to go to war for some shit, can't go to war, and need an event big enough
to go to war.
Now, we can argue the engines disappearing at the Pentagon. We can argue this, and we can argue the spots of the way the buildings imploded, it looked like it was demolished. And we can disagree. I could go, I believe that shit. And you go, fuck no. But I'm saying the climate of what's happening, it's the same as the other three. Why can't we think that this shit could happen? It's shot. Building 7, and don't roll your eyes yet. I just watched Building 7. They put a picture of Building 7 falling that didn't get hit, that didn't have structural damage, imploding the same exact way as a planned demolition, the way it fell. There's people that say it. Now, I know how you feel about it.
Yeah,
I couldn't argue back and forth about it because we're both going off what we believe. We didn't go out there with our meters or anything like that.
You got so many people, right? And you'll hear Anthony Cumia, express his disdain for Building 7. He believed the official narrative at the time. You know what I mean? But me, I'm Building 7 and over. You know what I mean? If you don't, my 10-4 Kufi should start from Building 7 and over. You feel me? So, we had the thing where they reported that Building 7 had collapsed, right? I mean, how many of y'all remember that? It was a fucking it was a live news broadcast. They said Building 7 is just falling, but in the background, fucking Building 7 was still standing. As they were saying it, it was still standing. That shit didn't fall yet. You feel me? It was so far away. We know now that it had some redacted shit in it, and that's why that shit went down. You know what I mean? If you could find it, I'm gonna try to find it and I'm gonna link to it later in this video, or maybe I'll put it on Twitter. James Corbett did a fantastic documentary on the goings on that day and the goings on the day before. I think it was called War Games or some shit like that. I forgot. I gotta find that shit. But he did a fucking fantastic documentary on it. I'm gonna try to find it. The shit was fucking cool. You know what I mean? Explain why no fighter pilots could get to it. It was great. YouTube got that shit out the paint though, and no, it ain't on here no more unless some YouTuber that some unknown YouTuber got it on there. We'll try to find it. But Building 7 is one of those things that people refuse to believe. It's like it's in your fucking face. It's in your fucking face. They showed you it. But I digress. Let's keep it moving.
That I'm repeating some shit, you're repeating some shit, what you feel. So I'm just stepping back going, historically, the country would do some fucked up shit so that it can lend itself money for war. And here's the Vietnam War that they're comparing to the Iraqi thing. All they needed to do is sustain. The Vietnam War was never supposed to be won. It was just supposed to go on and on and on and on and on. So I could keep lending myself money at interest and keep taking money out your baby's asshole.
The only thing I can even throw in as far as the 9/11 thing goes, I'll never believe that explosives were put into a fucking working building, that these workers came in and wired these fucking buildings with explosives, because you know what that takes? It takes an empty building. It takes jackhammering of cement structures that a secretary would look and go, excuse me, what are you doing with all that C4? Is there something? So I can't believe that. And there was structural damage to the building. When the two towers fell, it threw all kinds of shit into there. It was on fire for a long time. All I'm saying is, I don't believe there was this conspiracy that America planted bombs in there. Here's the only...
Facts, Jay. Facts, Jay. Facts. You know what I mean? we had the dancing redacteds, the dancing Jabaris that was, watching that shit happen. You know what I mean? That said they was there for documenting the event or whatever it was. It's real interesting, right? It's crazy to me, that people don't really understand. You know what I mean? But let's keep it moving. At the time, Anthony Cumia was, he was buying an official narrative.
Let me agree with you on this thing, and this is the thing that makes me not believe in aliens.
All right.
Is the secrecy of the average boob, the level of secrecy that a construction worker would have to have,
right,
to do that is my, and to be logical, I go, Jesus, that doesn't make any sense that a guy would go, yeah, all right, listen, let's pretend we're going to put explosives on it and kill 3,000 people.
Yeah.
I agree. The deception that there's aliens somewhere in a building that fucking Johnny and Harry the boob are guarding against us.
Yeah.
Makes me go,
I think he's telling his chick.
Yeah, somebody knows
that,
hey, listen, E.T. is in this motherfucking building, sweetie. I believe that, but there are, the fact is that in order to pull off all the shit that's happening, you have to have the help.
Remember, Google's parent company name is Alphabet Inc. They push it in plain sight. Hey, if you're new, hit that subscribe button, share this stream out. Help me beat this algorithm. You know what I mean? I really appreciate that. Go back, check out my other content. I do live streams and I do one-off videos. I'm sure you'll like them. Check me out. But anyway, let's get back to it. But yeah, just remember that Google's parent company name is Alphabet Inc. Alyssa O, salute. I love O and A. They were so, you're 100% right. I love listening to Opie and Anthony.
For the people, we have to agree. For some reason, we have to agree to fuck each other over. And it's not far-fetched that a person has been on the phone and said to you, hi, listen, I can't, my kid is dying, I don't have insurance. Yeah, it's $1,500 a month, but I only make $750 a fucking week.
Fact.
Please help.
Well, that's
sorry,
$1,500.
It is a reality that people in some form or fashion will fuck other people really bad.
But here's the only thing I could even wrap my mind around that perhaps, like in the past, might have happened. There was a plot by extremists, Islamic extremists, to do what they tried to do in the early.
So for those who don't know who Opie and Anthony is, Opie and Anthony was two talk show hosts, talk radio, shock jocks. They were around the era of Howard Stern. They used to beef with Howard Stern. Howard Stern didn't like them, so they used to, because Howard Stern didn't like him, they used to just fuck with him. You know what I mean? I would argue and say that this show was a whole fucking lot better than Howard Stern's. It was fucking fantastic. They had a New York show that was on, I want to say it was the same station that Howard Stern was on, K-Rock, I think it was called. And then they got a big deal with Sirius, a huge fucking deal, just as huge as not as much as Howard Stern, but it was fucking, it made them motherfuckers rich, with Sirius XM. You know what I mean? They would always have Patrice on. I just think they had better content. That's why I like Opie and Anthony. But yeah, so like I said, and then I think Anthony got into some kind of scandal, and he got kicked off the show by Sirius, and Jim Norton took over, and then Jim Norton and Opie had some problems, and then the show went the way of the dodo. But let's keep it moving.
90s, bring down the towers.
Okay.
And perhaps somebody did know that this was going to go down.
That they let it go down, because
and they let it
because a big thing is
go down.
NORAD has a 5 to 10 minute response time to this type of shit.
Straight up,
NORAD
straight up
had an 80-minute response. Like NORAD,
see, I won't even go for that.
Was shut down. Like NORAD They didn't send planes. They didn't send.
I won't even go for that because shit's supposed to work a certain way.
So straight up, what he's talking about with NORAD, James Corbett did a fucking fantastic documentary, and I gotta find it so I can get it to you guys. They were in a so-called war game. So all of NORAD and fucking the fighter jets and shit was fucking 600 miles away from the mainland, or from the mainland, from America. They couldn't possibly make it here in time. It's almost like the shit was done on purpose. Not to mention Operation Northwoods. Go look that up. Operation Northwoods sound a whole fucking lot like that day in September. But I digress.
Way, and we found out, as far as the government goes, shit don't work as fast as it's supposed to. We thought there were fucking missiles on top of the White House and everything, and there weren't. That plane could have crashed right into the fucking White House.
That's what it was. The war game that they were playing that day was based on this, the exact scenario that happened on that day in September. The shit that happened that day in September was what the fucking war game that they was playing was based on. The exact scenario. The reason why NORAD didn't act fast enough is because they thought this shit was the scenario happening. They thought it was the scenario going down. So when the plane hit the fucking building, they thought that shit was fake. They thought this shit was just a part of the fucking simulation. They didn't know until it was too late. They didn't know until the second fucking plane hit that it wasn't a part of the simulation. It wasn't a part of the game. Go figure, right? Alyssa O. Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, he definitely changed his stance on a lot of shit. You know what I mean? I would argue to say that Patrice O'Neal red pilled him. You know what I mean? DMW. WBAB Long Island Station was the original, but they got syndicated. Facts. That's right. That's right. Let's get back to it.
Right.
But I think the damage was, if that did happen, I'm still, believe me, I'm not
and
one like.
And we needed this to happen to go to war. By the way, we needed something as big
to
as
get
9/11
everybody with American flags on their windows
to fucking go and fight any war that they told us to fight.
Right, but I don't think. If somebody did know about this attack beforehand, and there were FBI agents and stuff that said, look, this guy's taking fucking flying lessons, there's suspicious, that's documented.
Right.
But I don't think anyone thought it was going to be as fucked up as it was. If a couple of planes flew into some buildings and the fire department ran up and put them out, and they found out, look at these terrorist motherfuckers trying to bring down the towers. They killed such and such people. Let's go to war. I don't think anyone thought both of those fucking towers were falling down.
But look at that.
And
look
buildings
at that.
around.
And again, that's when we get into logistics of all of that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, let's look at what happened. The president, now, it's essentially a dictatorship when it comes to declaring war.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be Congress.
Oh, Congress.
Now the president can. That fear we had of some kook pushing a button, it came true.
Yeah.
So if the whole
Jabari,
plan was a kook to push the button. I again, not to go back and forth about whether 9/11 we did it or some crazy shit, but the fact is that ultimately it moves closer to New World Order.
The point I think you guys are both missing, like the towers didn't really need to fall down to get the point across.
Right.
Just having, the airliners crashing into two major buildings in New York City would have done the job.
I don't think anyone thought that would have happened.
Why not? It would have been enough to get a war going.
I fucking disagree.
That's just like the ocean liner going down. That's like a holy shit moment.
Let's say the ocean liner was hit.
That's why I think
it didn't sink and 1,200 people didn't die.
Right.
3,000 people died. People are still dying from all that horse shit in the air.
It made it easier, but I think just having the planes crash into the buildings would have been good enough to go with your theory that you laid out beautifully. How we're like a war economy.
Well, if those planes, if the buildings didn't fall, we would have rebuilt those holes. The buildings would still be standing tall with muscles. I think watching those buildings fall.
But you don't think that would have been enough for us to go to? Wow, I think so. I certainly think so.
I think the vision.
Hey, yo, Jay, Great point. Yo, I swear, yo. You read my mind. So a Canadian group actually simulated. I think it was a Canadian, or was it Japanese? I can't remember. I think it was Canadian. Well, anyway, a group simulated cell service in a plane, right? They simulated cell service in a plane to see how long you had cell service before you lost it in flight. So I think like Sprint fucking went out at like, I don't know, it was like 1,000 feet or some shit like that. And then like Singular, I guess it was at the time, they went out at like 3,000 feet. And then like, I think Verizon was the one that held on the longest, and it was like 4,000 feet or something like that. You know what I mean? But they kept telling us in the news that people was making calls from the planes, right? They kept making calls from the transportation. Let's put it like that. It was making calls from the transportation. Meanwhile, the transportation is moving at 500 miles an hour. The transportation is, I don't know how many thousands of feet in the air. Back then, in 2000 and you know what I mean? You wasn't catching the cell tower that fucking fast and that high in the air. So how was they making these calls, right? You know what I mean? They weren't making them from the plane. They said that they was calling from their cell phones. You know, there was an interesting thing where it came out that I was watching where there was an attendant that was made a call home and said, tell the kids I love them, something going down, and whatever, and then whispers in the phone, it was a frame. It was a frame. It's a frame. That's what it sounded like to me. But you know, I digress. Good point, Jay. James, in 01, so few people even had cell phones. They didn't get going until like 07ish. The available tech to the public was basically useless at the ground level. In fact, fucking Nextel barely could hold a signal. That's what I had. We use code mode. We're using codes in here, Freak Mac. Gotta use codes in here. You know what I mean? We talking about that day in September. You know what I mean? You know. We just going over some this Patrice O'Neal skit where, you know, basically Patrice, I feel like he got red pilled. This is the day Patrice O'Neal got completely red pilled. And maybe possibly Anthony Cumia. You know what I mean? So Facts LP. Yep. So you seen what I seen. Yeah, facts. You know, DMW, they making calls from 30,000 feet up, but no one in NYC metro area had service for the whole day. Facts. Straight up, Jay. Pages was still popping. Remember the fucking sidekicks and the what was the other ones that looked like sidekicks but they wasn't? Them shits was out there. That day in the 9th month of the calendar. I like that better. There we go. You know how I go. They even remotely get a whiff of what we doing. It's a problem. You know what I mean? Jabari Judah, I lost service at 8:24 that morning. Damn. I remember. So on that day. So on that day, right? On that day, I was what? I was 17. I was 17 years old. I just had a birthday. So yeah, I just turned 17, right? Just turned 17. I'm sitting in English class. One of my teammates, I hear him running through the hallways yelling, "We gonna die." So I go out in the hallway. I'm like, "Yo, what you doing, yo?" He like, "Yo, Cal, turn the TV on." So in our school we had the TVs in the corner, whatever. So I went over, I turned the TV on, yo. We see the second joint collide. I was like, "The fuck is this? A movie?" I thought it was a movie at first, and then I looked like, holy shit. And then, yo, after that, everybody lost their shit. All I know is my father came through the Nextel, because back then me and my sister, we had Nextels and shit with my father and shit. So he hit us on the Nextel, like, get your sister and get the fuck out of school. I hit my sister on her Nextel. I'm like, yo, meet me in the lobby. We got the hell up out of there. We ain't know what the fuck was going on. All I know is that my high school was next to Social Security Administration. I ain't want to go home because my house was next to another joint they had just built. I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? You know, Jabari Jeter. You wasn't, hey Jabari, you wasn't one of them dancing dudes, was you? But yeah, no, yeah, yo, it's crazy. My stepmother, she said that she, you know, her brother seen it. He was, I guess he was a building inspector or whatever, and he watched that shit happen. Protesting at this house. Hey, damn. Anyway, let's get back into it. You know, there's so much shit surrounding that day, yo. You know, it's, man. Let's get back to it.
You think they really needed the buildings to come down?
Big. Pearl Harbor was big.
Sorry, he's right though. Remember what was on Time Magazine? Remember that shit? It was the guy falling out of the fucking window. That's all that was all over the TV. It was either the Yammeens colliding with the Yam saying, or it was the dude that fell out the Yam saying. The dude that fell out the window. You feel me? Optics, people. Optics. Think about that day in January. Ain't nothing happened. But optics. The optics is what got people in that uproar. You feel me?
The vision of Pearl Harbor, big. The Japs flying over, attack everybody. Holy mother, we were attacked.
Why did the planes hit so high then?
Well, they couldn't go on the street. It was still there was buildings that were 15 stories high.
They still had a little room. They definitely had some room to hit lower.
Let's be honest.
The lower they hit,
they were giant airplanes. The fact that they both hit their target,
but the lower they hit
was pretty fucking amazing.
The lower they hit, more people would die, whether the buildings fall or not.
Now look at your theory. Why didn't they hit bigger, right? Why didn't they hit higher, and the buildings still collapse? See, this is what I'm saying. We can go into space age, like really theories, but I'm just looking at the Gulf of Tonkin is a lie. The reason we went into Vietnam was a goddamn lie. That's what I'm saying. Is that just add it up a little bit in terms of, I know this Illuminati people don't understand, but the Bilderberg group.
The Bilderberg group.
I love calling it the Bilderberg group.
And all of this shit is just that you can't think that something's not going on.
Yeah, it's not what it is on the surface.
Like, you can't think something.
I'm way in as far as that stuff goes.
I mean, that's all. I mean, we could go back and forth with, like, that's what I'm saying. That's where, okay, to get really, like, black about it, that's where they want us to do is, okay, there you go. If somebody's, like, if the guy's going, with the long cigar and the twisty fucking mustache is sitting there going, these guys are fucking talking about it. And then me and you, we get into this thing about, why didn't the planes hit higher? And they go, okay, good. Yeah, talk about, we in the planes. Let's talk about the shit.
Now they're off the hot zone here.
Like, that's what I'm saying. The whole idea is for us to talk about
the details
of it.
I got to go back. I really don't think they needed the buildings to come down. You got one that hit the Pentagon, and who knows where the one in PA was going.
Right.
That was pretty damn impressive that day.
But ultimately,
they got the
bank owns America.
Sure, they got the grand finale with the buildings, going down, which made it a lot easier. But man, I don't know. Seems like they had enough to go and start a war.
It's possible,
in the Middle East.
But again, think about this, and that's not even a question that we need to ask, like, in terms of government.
Because I'm with Ant with the whole.
That's a people question.
I'm with Ant with the whole demolition thing. But then you got someone on the phone.
Do you think it's good enough?
Someone on the phone said
what?
Just the planes hitting was good enough.
Yeah, you know why?
I don't think so.
We were out for blood when they blew up the basement, and it didn't bring the towers down.
And which they said in this movie, I don't know which one, I watched a million of these stupid movies, is the reason they didn't do it then is because wait a minute, only 6 people died during that one.
Right.
They said we can't get in there like that. No
kidding.
But what started changing these laws was not 9/11.
Yeah, it was the 1992, was it?
No, your boy, the white boy.
Not
McVeigh.
McVeigh with
is 168 people plus children in a building.
Yeah.
That made domestic terrorism, but it started changing the laws, which was starting to unfold for us to be afraid enough to lose our civil liberties, to just let the government do what they need to do.
Well, we can't have this blown up again, so the government says they have a way to prevent it, so let them do it. But it's taking away some of your rights.
Okay.
I don't use those rights that much.
Yes.
Those aren't the rights I use a lot. I use freedom of speech. I use that every day.
Well, the good news, we found his, passport, Muhammad,
His passport, this is, listen to me, just as a fucking reality person.
Yeah.
The fucking plane was eviscerated. The buildings were eviscerated. People were eviscerated.
Vaporized, nothing.
But they found his passport, Muhammad Atta's passport, in the rubble.
Why?
What was it in his top pocket? And his
pocket.
titty blew off intact. And here's his fucking passport.
He was in the
on
front of the
ground.
plane.
He was in the he just flew out.
Flew right through the windshield. Why?
And landed perfectly, but he was gone. But they found his fucking unscarred passport on the ground. Here he is, motherfucker. Here he is.
Here's the guy.
Like, yo, y'all remember that, right? So they said they found the passport. That shit was unscathed, unscorched, nothing. The dude that was supposedly in the front of the motherfucker, you find, like, that's kind of like that bullet that Bush Senior found when JFK got. Fucking bullet wasn't even. Oh, here's the bullet that did it. It was a whole fucking bullet, still in the case, not mushroomed up or nothing. Oh, this the bullet they got him because they count on people being stupid. Everybody's so afraid they're not looking at the common sense shit. Damn. Okay. But why that shit look clean as a motherfucker? How? You know what I mean?
I understand a motherfucker.
But he was on the plane, and he had a fucking passport.
Shut the fuck up!
They know exactly who did what. It was Muhammad Atta hiding out now, going, oh, thank God.
Anthony, if I lit you on fire right now, they wouldn't find your license unscathed. It'd be melted. It'd be something. The entire downtown was destroyed, but we found this motherfucker's passport.
What does that mean?
Meaning that, okay, we have to go in conspiracy world.
What does it mean?
Somebody takes this fucking, here's this paper here. Somebody got Muhammad the setup Atta, who was on it, and they just go.
Where's Muhammad Atta then?
Who the fuck knows?
He was sitting in that fucking pilot seat.
They're saying that there's some people that on that list to this day that are alive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But why is it crazy if they're saying it? You're saying it's crazy because you don't believe it.
I want to know where they are.
TV.
What is a dude that said in 2001?
Oh, that guy. I saw him. I know.
In the Telegram. He's the fucking guy. They said, here's a picture. The guy said, that's a picture of my son who's alive, 10 years younger than what he is now. And the guy's like, that's me, 10 years younger. And then we go like this. Oh, yeah. Listen, that's what, see, ultimately my thing is, can we stop for a second and not let the next thing go on before we go, no. I'm not allowing you to move on till you tell me why Donald Rumsfeld is good pals with Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden.
Well, he was.
But I'm saying, can you tell?
Hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back in 2 seconds. All right, we back. Let's get back to it.
Tell me, can you go from the point where we got involved with all this oil shit from the entire thing from Iran, the original Iran hostage crisis, which was about oil and about the Ayatollah and about that shit.
It was also about Muslim extremism.
To the point where, here's the thing, where we stop. The whole, this thing that still to this day fucks me up.
Still to this
How
day.
do we know that they have weapons of mass destruction? Cause we sold them this shit. How do we move on from that? How do we have the receipt? We the ones who gave this fucker the weapons to kill Iranians. That's how we fucking know. Why won't the citizens, not the motherfuckers that's doing the shit, why won't citizens not let that move on?
But that was because that was what you did at that point. We were enemies with Iran. We weren't as big enemies with Iraq at the time, so we supplied them. Same thing with Osama bin Laden. They were fighting the fucking shit out of the Soviets in Afghanistan, kicking their ass. We loved watching the Soviets get their ass handed to them.
Absolutely.
So we gave...
you know they did. They made a whole goddamn Rambo about that shit. You know what I mean? Then what they had the Iran, the Contra situation. You know what I mean? That's what we do. Joe Nichols Slick just left billions of dollars in fucking weapons, as he left after he cautioned not to do that back in the day. That's what they do, man. Telegraph they punches. That's what they do.
The Afghanis, a shitload of fucking...
But what I'm saying during this, what you're talking about is what I'm saying is this. Me and you were friends doing fucked up shit. Now we're not friends. Now my war against you is not personal. It's some thing that just happened by the way. The fact is we were buddies doing fucked up shit. Now I gotta die. My kid gotta die. I gotta jump out of windows and shit because me and you are no longer friends. So there's a lot of collateral damage because I want a piece of your funky ass because you fucked me over. That's what I mean, is that this shit is some personal vendetta shit that's involving everybody and money and it's like, hey, Anthony, man, give me that money you owe me. Nope. Motherfucker. I'm gonna kill Anthony. All right, America, we gotta go kill this nigga. Why? Cause of 9/11. We gotta go fuck you up. Cause the Lithuania. I'm gonna fuck you up. Cause the
Well, damn. The Bill Burr group started this whole thing. Bill Burr. And you're like 4 or 5 movies in.
Man, my eyes are ready to fall out my face, man.
Like I said, I had to stop because the dreams were like fucked up.
I'm going to do my studying this evening.
But he got a point. Think about it. You had Saddam. You had Osama. You had Moonbar. Bashar. You know what I mean? Like DMW said. Every boogeyman was created by the U.S. Yeah, James, they did. They found, a couple of the guys still walking the earth, man. Like another theory or another conspiracy that shall remain nameless. I won't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. But I digress.
I
had a party going on from Friday fucking afternoon until like midnight last night when I finally was like, I gotta go to bed.
Partying over.
That was just partying.
Watch that shit today when you get a chance, man, because I thought it was interesting because I know you're not an Illuminati guy.
Yeah.
But you are a non-Obama guy.
And I like
the fact that maybe
seeing all the sides.
The conspiracy, I wanted to see what your take was that Obama's now seem to be
sucked
just
into this whole thing
and taking and the conspiracy of why they might be he's strong on guns.
Do you think it was before or after his campaign and his election? Do you think as he's campaigning he knew all right, this is the situation I'm going to make. Or
Well,
he was
Henry
elected,
Kissinger,
and then they were
said
like,
Henry Kissinger gave him his first job out of college. And Henry Kissinger was being interviewed, and he was just like, I thought this kid was this Henry Bilderberg Kissinger. According to the movie.
According to the movie.
Yeah, I don't think there's a huge surprise. I think if you're going for the presidency, and if some of this stuff is true from the film, that Obama's more than aware as he's moving forward in his career.
That he's the black,
I don't think there's the big
first
surprise.
black president.
You know, there might be a few things he hears about, but then, you know, he gets in there and they go, yeah, you were right. This is how it is. Ta-da. Because he definitely looks different now, man.
He looks like he said...
He's like, wow, what did I get myself into?
He was the HNIC. He sat in the room, and somebody said, hey, man. Yeah. He sat there, he popped his collar, and somebody smacked the shit out of him. He said, you ain't running this.
Right.
And he was like, oh, my God. All those pictures you see of Rihanna swelled up, that's Obama.
That's really Obama's photo.
That's not Rihanna. Somebody beat the shit out of Obama and told him, motherfucker, you ain't running this. Alan Greenspan might be. He came in the room and said,
that's why when Bush, Obama walked the Bushes out to the helicopter, you know, Bush was like, hey, you have no idea.
You are deep shit.
You have no idea. So you go back in there.
I'm going back to drinking.
Right. he did a big shoo. Thank God that's over with. Obama has a pep in his step. He's all ready to go. Walks back into that White House and like Bill Burr says, they showed him the basement. Oh, before you do anything else, we're going down to the basement for a few. I got a couple things to show you.
Give me your BlackBerry, nigga.
Because when he became president, they said they debriefed him on national security and this and that, all these things he needed to now know as the president. And I went to and I go, wow, that shows that someone else is actually in charge, because they now have to show him what it's all about.
I've been saying that. Presidency is just symbolic. That's just the personality that he's using to push their bullshit on you. You know what I mean? President can only serve a max of 8 years, but Congress has unlimited fucking terms. Supreme Court has unlimited terms. You know what I mean? Remember in House of Cards, he's like, I don't want to be the president. Shit, I want to be right where I'm at. You know what I mean? That's what that is. You know, straight up. The office of the president is a facade.
Yeah, who's in charge? The Federal Reserve Bank is in charge.
Right.
These motherfuckers, them.
Right, but Bush
people say white people, I know what we mean now.
Yeah, Bush was long gone, and it was actually on the news, you know, that Obama's learning, you know, everything he needs to know to be the president. So who are those people telling him how to act as the president? Wouldn't that mean that these people have more knowledge and more power than the actual president?
And who are these people that stay? Anytime someone, the boss leaves a job, people leave. Like, bosses don't just come in and everybody who was the boss when he was is still the boss.
Facts.
There's people there that he can't fire.
Facts.
Like, hey, who are you?
Don't worry about who I am.
I want a new fry cook, motherfucker. I don't like you. If I buy a McDonald's franchise, all you motherfuckers is fired.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm getting a report here from
our Danny,
our researcher. Atta's passport was not found. It was Satam al-Suqami.
That's semantics.
It was found.
According,
somebody's fucking passport was found.
10 minutes of actual research will confirm this.
And who's this?
Satam al-Suqami.
But who is this that I'm supposed to go, okay, that's the thing?
The point is, I think the point is that regardless of whose passport it was, the fact that so many facts are misrepresented and reported as fact.
True.
Okay.
It happens so much on any, you know, it's just whatever you want to believe.
Exactly.
Fact.
And this is my saying. This is why I've said, okay, this is where it can implode the conversation.
Yeah.
Where it goes to, okay, Muhammad Azhar is what?
Talk about details.
Fine. Now I go. Now was the Gulf? What's the shit again?
The Gulf of Tonkin. Yeah.
Tonkin. Was that a lie? It's official, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much known.
Fair enough. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
That we go to war based on lies. Okay. Now we get into whether this is that, and the Hubli Muhammad wasn't Hubli. It was Gapata.
And now the guy with the big cigar is laughing because
I don't. It's cool, good, but I believe there's a system that's going on that we're just sitting there going, okay, we're gonna argue about whether the planes hit higher or not. That's the people that run that. J.P. Morgan allegedly knows that's how fucking stupid we are, and we will argue that instead of going, hold up,
right?
The Federal Reserve Bank, the country owes money to a bank like I owe money to a fucking bank. This is fucking crazy.
And you know what's even more amazing is that you think in this day and age, there's so much information out there on the internet that it would be harder to perpetrate these little conspiracies by the government and by the world order. But it's easier because there's so many distractions in the internet. There's so many ways to just look at the details instead of
another thing. Never forget this, Anthony. When you look at that money, you look at the pyramid. The pyramid is key. The bottom of the pyramid is all the people. The top is these couple of people. What happened? The difference between now and 500 years ago is that it was the guy, then the people. The people were right outside this fucker's door. At some point, they had to create stuff for the masses. Like, hey, come here, man. Look at this fucking piece of shit. You don't want to have your feet as dirty as him, right? Come on, I got this new shit. You clean your feet. Give you some feet cleaner. Give you some back warmer. Get you in a house. Get you in a bed. Get you feeling good. And you go, hey, man, you want to be down with me? Oh, you know what? Run this fucker. So you never forget that we are willing as people to fuck other people to be a little bit better, to live a little bit better. They're talking about this new motherfucker. They went into global warming, nigga. Global warming. What's wrong, Danny? He took a nice big huff. Me and Danny, I want to love Danny again. What is the problem? I don't know. That huff. Can you tell me what that huff is so I don't feel like it's nothing?
I think you're just paying a little too much attention.
Okay, fair enough. So
I want to hear the global warming thing.
The global warming is some horse shit, right? And this is what they're saying on the thing, but it makes a lot of sense. What they're doing is they taxing everything that has to do with so-called us fucking up the environment. Cars, trains, this, that, and the smoke. And what they're doing with that is they're taxing anything that developed countries already have. But what that does is when they're canceling out the global warming, it stops underdeveloped countries from ever developing cars, trains.
They have to start with the shitty coal burning fucking smokestacks.
Exactly. They have to stay in huts while we go and make deals to own the whole underdeveloped country. They want motherfucking with ladies with the titties down to their knees and fucking some guy with his balls hanging down to his knees.
A stick on his dick.
To come out, right? And to stop developing those countries so that they can just go in and the third world countries are the richest in everything.
Hey, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, share this out.
Just go fuck yourself. So they're saying, global warming is a farce because Gore. I'm just saying what they're saying. Gore has a bunch of companies that's going to benefit from the taxing of global warming. That if we go on a crusade against global warming, he
isn't this nice guy trying to help out the world. He's this.
Now look what's happening now, right? I always argued this, right? So back when old Barry O was in office, right? I was one of them naive people. I voted for him twice, and I was like, you know what? Second term, he gonna go ham. It's his last term. He gonna get all the shit done for us that he's supposed to. Ain't having, right? Just business as usual. Then I found out, basically he owned by the banks. You know what I mean? And I thought that once he was out of office, old H. Clinton, the old H. Clinton was supposed to get in there, and it's gonna be more business as usual, right? But then that didn't happen. You know what I mean? There was a glitch in the Matrix and Donnie T won, right? I always thought Donnie T was the cog in the machine. I mean, the wrench in the gears, right? He fucked up their timeline. You know, and they had to get his ass out of there by any means necessary. Because believe it or not, all this shit on the timeline, y'all. All this shit on the timeline. You know, what was the one that was like, what? Something 2021 now, that shit like 2030 something. You know what I mean? Push back their timeline. They had to get this motherfucker out of there so they can get back on schedule. You know? Now look what they talking about now. What they pushing for now? The Green New Deal. All this fucking global warming shit. Yo, Patrice was ahead of his time, man. You know what I mean? You know, like Opie said in the one we watched, a thinking man's comedy is what this is. You know, shit is fucking hilarious, but he's spitting them facts. He's spitting them hard truths people don't want to listen to. You know what I mean? Let's keep it moving. We only got a little bit left.
Fucking underhanded scumbag just trying to fleece the third world nation.
It's good for his business, and it's good for business in general, global warming. Kind of using that same theory as a war economy. A global warming economy brings in a lot of money. If people buy into this whole global warming thing, it brings in a lot of money, right? Right?
Yeah. I'm just saying again
because I believe in
I could just get blown out the water by someone that just.
No, I believe in
the
one part I believe in is that whole war economy thing. Absolutely, war is good for business. It always has been. Always has been. So global warming could be another way to kind of take what war has been able to do for Americans, and it starts another revenue stream.
Yeah, another revenue stream. Now we all have to go out and get our cars. And we got to be green.
Yeah, we got to go get
green.
Go get our wind crap and what not. Let's take a quick break here. Patrice O'Neill got the phones lit there, Patrice.
I don't know. I can't imagine how anybody can say anything. I'm saying, look, don't fucking talk to me about, first of all, there was 22 and a half terrorists. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about the climate and what this shit really is. I don't travel the world finding, I'm just what I believe. I believe, if the Federal Reserve Bank is not federal, that's a big fucking deal. That we're borrowing money from a fucking bank of dudes.
You know what though? I'm from
Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan.
I'm from the school. Whatever the fuck is happening, let it keep happening because the whole world will collapse if we try to change things. Really?
Why and how?
You're going to try to unravel this whole thing they set up years and years ago.
But here's the thing: if there's food, this is what I'm getting at.
It would have to be an all-out revolution, right?
What would happen? Like
a worldwide revolution.
If there's food, feed motherfuckers.
Yeah.
If there's houses, put them in it. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but that's what I'm saying. What collapses? The only thing that collapses. It's not going to collapse on the motherfuckers at the top.
Don't you think that they need class against class to keep them distracted against everyone's happy in a house and eating? They start looking upstairs and going, what are these motherfuckers doing?
Race against race, poor white people fighting
Gotta
poor
keep us
black
distracted.
people. I went to this website, Nigger Mania, and I go,
I've visited that quite a few times.
I'm looking at it and I'm going, and a friend of mine, we was talking on the phone and we both said the same thing. What the fuck did black people do to be so hated in this country? What the fuck did we do?
Did you get one chuckle from the site?
It was interesting because, you know what?
Very interesting.
They got something where the motherfuckers broke down every black invention and said it was some bullshit. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you motherfuckers? Like, we can't even have inventions.
You can't even have the peanut.
Niggas lied about the gas mask. This is why. Fucking Philip Johnson invented it.
This guy
in England.
invented the stoplight. That's bullshit.
Jesus. It's just like, that's what I'm saying. But all of this infighting, all of this, we're all getting fucked by this magic man somewhere. And they're laughing at us.
Don't give me the line, TJ. I don't think I'm going to type that shit in my goddamn search bar.
It don't matter. What the fuck you think?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. The Rockefeller guy, he's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And then the guy's going, well, what's the next thing? When you world order, what's after that? I don't know.
So whatever.
Whatever. All right, we got to take a break. Patrice O'Neill.
But enough.
That was refreshing. A breath of fresh air, to get away from the hustle and bustle and the minutia of the day. You know, all the shit that's going on in the news. You know, Patrice O'Neal was ahead of his time. You know what I mean? Patrice O'Neal was ahead of his time, man. You know, one of the funniest fucking men, period. You know, he hadn't even hit his stride yet when he left. You know, he hadn't even hit his stride. You know, maybe I can look it up. I'm black. So it looked like it do. I guess it do exist as a forum. I guess it is. That shit is. Yeah, I guess it do exist. It's a forum. I guess it is. You know what I mean? But rip Patrice O'Neal, man. Rest in peace, man. He was definitely ahead of his time. You know, ahead of his time. He hadn't even hit his stride yet. It was argued that he burned bridges while he was here, but it was just because he was him. 24/7, he was him. You know what I mean? 24/7, he was him. You know, people couldn't handle that. You know, remember Web Soup? You know what I mean? Before Web Soup and Tosh.0, it was what? I'm sorry, he had Web Soup, right? I think Patrice O'Neal had Web Soup or Web Junk, but he was before Tosh.0. You know what I mean? You know, he pioneered that shit. I mean, but, you know, I digress. You know, Patrice O'Neal was one of the real ones, man. You know what I mean? So check it, right? Let me see if I can find that shit. Here we go. So let's go over here real fast. So earlier today, I put, although I'm against the Yamin, I need a substantial receipt proving this HIV theory. It smells of opposition misinfo, right? Because you see it all over the place, right? And they like to plant little bullshit, you feel me, around just so we can push it around. They say, hey, look, this was false. You know what I mean? Look at this misinformation. You know what I mean? We got to get these cove-based deniers off the internet, right? That's what they do. You know what I mean? You know, so I was putting it out there, you know, that guys be careful with what you passing around, essentially, you know, unless you got a receipt. You know, shout out to Jerome Kersey. He sent me some shit from somebody named Rare. It says December 2020, Australian government announced that the HIV protein they used in a trial caused participants to show, quote, false positives of HIV. Nigga, what? Holy shit. Yo, so that's why I'm gonna go to the video, right? We're gonna click on this shit. We're gonna go to the video. This shit is fucking crazy, right? Let's get it.
Vaccine.
Really wanted for Christmas was a local vaccine, but
the University of Queensland vaccine will not be able to proceed.
50 million planned doses scrapped after triggering false positive results for HIV.
As in science, things don't always go right. It's certainly a tough day for the team.
The UQ vaccine applied a molecular clamp closing the coronavirus spikes using an HIV protein which falsely triggered infection markers.
Everybody who had the vaccine did show some level of false positive result.
One of them, Mel Stott.
I can totally understand where they're coming from, but I still have no concerns about my health or anybody else's health.
The vaccine was proving effective in trials and the participants were at no risk, but
the risk to vaccine confidence was the principal issue here.
Vaccine expert Professor Nikolai Petrovsky says he raised the alarm early.
Our feeling was it was too experimental a technology to be rolled out.
No warnings were ignored at all.
Professor Murphy says the risk of false positives was always known but considered small.
Unfortunately, it just became a bigger problem than anyone had anticipated.
That's some eerie shit. You feel me? That's real interesting, right? You know. So look at this, where they got it from. This is their source. Let's see what the source is on YouTube.
All he really wanted for Christmas was a local.
7 News Australia. Okay. So it comes from 7 News Australia. Okay. So that's the source. December 11th, 2020. Check that shit out. You know, so now, with that being said, oh shit, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all looking at me. There we go. So, there you go. You know what I mean? 7 News Australia is where they got it from. You know what I mean? Now, granted, you know, this whole third shot equaling that shit, I don't know. You know, seeing that news story from 7 News Australia, I don't know. That's giving more credence to what's going on with what people are saying. It's real fucking interesting. You know what I mean? You know, what up, Super Carlo? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what I mean? You know, that's my question too, Natasha. How the fuck y'all know it's a false positive? How y'all know it's a false positive? I need to know these things. I need to fucking know. How y'all know it's a false positive out this bitch? Is that just what the fuck y'all saying? Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, we injected the AIDS protein into your body. Oh, don't worry about it. It might, you know, put a false positive, you know, but don't worry about it. That shit sounds fucking crazy to me. Now it gives more credence to what the fuck motherfuckers are saying on Twitter right now when they saying that this third shot, just, you know, that layover might get you that home in Virginia. You know what I mean? That layover might get you a home in Virginia. Stay frosty out here, people. I'll tell you that much. But check it. I had fun. I don't know about you. I enjoyed that. You know, going over this, you know, old Patrice O'Neal segments on Opie and Anthony is fucking fun. Patrice O'Neal's a funny man. He spit them facts. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need a little comedy, you know, to help people swallow that hard truth. You know what I mean? Pause. What they saying? Was it The Sound of Music? Or was that Mary Poppins? Just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down? I'm just saying. You know. Let's go over here to the chat real quick. Natasha, y'all see the comedian who was doing the set bragging about getting all the amines, etc., and passed out right after the audience thought it was a part of the bit? Nah, I ain't hear about that. Damn. Super Carlo, probably what happened to Danny Tanner. Natasha Kayleen, that booster seat ain't no joke. Hey, we could, you know, you could live through anything if magic made it, right? Bro, I know, right? Everybody here talking about, I got my layover. I got my layover. You know what I mean? I got my booster seat. You know what I mean? Super, if you go on Kayvon, the comedian's channel, that is what he said about Saget. Yeah, I mean, that shit is kind of sketchy to me. You know what I mean? What's up, DMW? Thank you, I appreciate it. Exactly. Check it out though, right? I was saying the same thing about Bob Saget. You know, I was on YouTube and came up with my Fox News that they said the cause of death. It's crazy that it took them that long to figure out the fucking cause of death. He's a fucking celebrity. He ain't like he was like some, you know, some no-name actor or whatever. He was a fucking celebrity. It took them forever. You know what I mean? Oh, is that? Oh,
Serious.
Is that the? Oh, I saw this today. Hold up. We about to go to that for a second. Hold on, before I finish my thought. Hold up. So we gonna put this motherfucker in full screen. Let's check this shit out. Hold on, let me do this because that shit was kind of loud for real. Bring that right there. All right, let's check this shit out, right?
I don't mean to brag. I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes!
Like Caitlyn Jenner.
Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
Damn.
I don't mean to brag. I don't care, but I want you to know.
Wow. She fucking fell like a tree, didn't she? Damn. Did she make it? She still here? That's fucking crazy. You gonna go ahead and retweet that. And in fact, I'm just gonna return it and gonna quote tweet it. See women. I should be like I should be like I should be laughing at the caption. See women can be funny. Alright, I'm sorry. I should have laughed at that. God damn. Yeah, she started breathing real hard. That shit got real labor, Super Carlo, and then her ass fucking went out like fucking Wendy Williams. You know what I mean? God damn. But like I was saying with Bob Saget, man, you know, he a celebrity. You know, why take so long for them to get the autopsy of how he passed? You know what I mean? It just sound like, you know, and I get it. You know, like if you get a concussion or something, they tell you, you know, not to go to sleep for a certain amount of hours. I got you. I get how that shit worked. You know what I mean? But for some reason, it just seemed like it's too convenient of an explanation. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's not true, but it just sounds like bullshit. You know, I'm not trying to say that, you know, the layover took him out of here or anything like that. You know, I don't know. You know, the one doctor that was on the Fox News was saying that he had a history of like congenital heart issues in his family and shit like that. You know, I just seem like it's something seemed a little off with that, you know? So I guess we'll never know. You know what I mean? You think it's something fishy with that too, Alyssa? You know? Facts, Natasha. She brought Jesus into that shit trying to be funny, and his ass struck her down. He struck her down. Golly mighty. Got to the hospital supposedly with a skull fracture. Yeah, she felt hard, boy. She felt like she took a head kick. Stiffen the fuck up. God damn. You know what I mean? In her response video, she claimed she hit her eye. What? Hit her eye. It was clear she fell and hit the back of her head. She hit the back of her fucking head. She don't remember what happened. Most people, when they fall and they do that, they don't remember what the fuck happened. You know what I mean? You know, what's up, Mr. Fantastic, man? Welcome. You know, that's all right, man. Just catch the replay. It'll be out here. You know, Hal Bird, is that real? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's real. Apparently, yo, that shit was crazy. You know what I mean? Pride comes before the fall. Golly mighty. That's yo. I gotta pull an unk, yo. I gotta take that. Oh shit. Hold on, let me do this. Hold up. I gotta pull Uncle Hotep on that one. So I'm gonna do the whole video, hold tight. Let me see. Turn the fucking audio off so I can do this.
Don't care, but
God damn it. There we go. Oh shit. Damn, I'm acting like I don't know how to use the fucking internet. What the fuck? There we go. That's fucking funny. Oh shit. But yeah, Natasha, she definitely felt like Wendy Williams. You know what I mean? They thought it was a part of her fucking act, apparently. But yeah, yo, that shit crazy, man. Like, she's sitting there and like, I don't mean to laugh, but it's like, shit. You know what I mean? Cause you know, but at the same time, she mocking, the people that refusing to get the Yami, and that unfortunate event happened. That's just sad. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, they definitely got to keep her under observation for like, yeah, you're right. Yo, I mean, that's the first thing that hit. Nothing else hit. She felt like she took a head kick, son. Like, she hit and she seemed like she a tall woman. She hit that ground with some force, bro. You know what I mean? Damn. But like I was saying, yo, Bob Saget, that just seemed, I don't know, that just seemed kind of suspect, yo. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know. It just seemed a little sketchy to me. Just put it like that. Anyway, I appreciate y'all rolling with me. This was fun. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Patrice O'Neal. He was ahead of his time. He definitely would be a force to be reckoned with if he was still here with us. You know. But your health is really important, people. You know. Unfortunately, he succumbed to diabetes. That took him out of here at the age of 41. You know. But anyway, it is 6:56. We got about an hour before Hotep's Been Told You come on. Y'all make sure y'all go over there at 8 o'clock. Hotep Jesus' channel. It's sure to be a good time. But anyway, until next time, it's Canon Hotep saying, stay safe and stay strapped. I'll holler at you.